Fearless action. How to take bold steps toward success. The difference between those who dream and those who achieve often lies in a single, powerful moment: the decision to act. For most of us, fear holds us back, whispering doubts and wrapping us in comfort zones, leaving potential untapped and desires unfulfilled. Yet every extraordinary achievement begins with a choice to take action in the face of uncertainty, to step into the unknown, and to embrace the very fear that paralyzes so many. What separates the dreamers from the doers is the willingness to act boldly and without hesitation. It's not about having all the answers or waiting for the perfect moment. It's about the courage to take that first step, knowing full well that the path ahead will be unclear, that failure is a part of the journey, and that nothing is certain except the power of your own commitment. Imagine the possibilities if you could break free from hesitation and act fearlessly in alignment with your deepest aspirations. How much closer would you be to your goals, your dreams, your ideal life? Every moment that you wait, every day you delay, is an opportunity slipping through your fingers. Success is not just for the lucky few or the naturally gifted. It's available to anyone willing to embrace discomfort, to challenge their own limits, and to keep moving forward, even when the road gets tough. Fearless action isn't about a lack of fear. It's about moving forward despite it. It's the decision to act in the face of uncertainty, to choose momentum over perfection, and to trust that every bold step will create new opportunities for growth and progress. This journey is not just about achieving success. It's about stepping into your fullest potential, transforming your mindset, and realizing that your greatest achievements come not from waiting for the perfect moment, but from creating one through your actions. Chapter 1. Understanding the nature of fear. Fear is an ancient primal instinct deeply embedded in our biology. It's a survival mechanism designed to protect us from danger. When faced with a threat, our bodies respond automatically. Heart races, muscles tense, thoughts narrow, to prepare us for either flight or fight. It is the body's immediate reaction to perceived danger, whether real or imagined. Yet in today's world, this ancient survival tool has become entangled with our modern challenges, creating an often unnecessary obstacle to success. The root of fear often lies in uncertainty. When the outcome is unknown, when risks feel high, fear rises to the surface. It's in those moments when we are faced with important decisions, when we step into the unknown or pursue a goal that feels beyond our reach. Fear grows stronger when our sense of control weakens, feeding on our doubts and insecurities. It whispers, convincing us that we are inadequate, that the risks far outweigh the rewards, and that failure is inevitable. But this is the paradox of fear. It keeps us trapped in a loop of hesitation, never allowing us to move beyond the walls we've built for ourselves. Fear doesn't always appear as something dramatic or overt. Sometimes it wears a more subtle guise: procrastination, indecision, and self-sabotage. These quiet manifestations of fear can be even more insidious because they prevent us from acting. We may delay the things that matter most to us, overthinking our every move, paralyzed by the what-ifs. The longer we linger in indecision, the louder the fear becomes, until it becomes a barrier so strong that we no longer recognize it for what it is. The way fear impacts decision-making is profound. Every moment of hesitation, every missed opportunity, is a result of our fear-driven thoughts and beliefs. When we allow fear to dictate our choices, we limit our own potential. We shrink in response to challenges instead of rising to meet them. Fear, in its most destructive form, isolates us, prevents us from pushing boundaries, and keeps us in the safety of the familiar. Yet, it is only by moving beyond our fear that we can experience growth and transformation. However, fear does not have to control us. It can be understood, transformed, and used as a catalyst for action rather than a hindrance. Recognizing that fear is not a signal to stop, but a signal to move forward in spite of it, is one of the most powerful shifts a person can make. Fear is an inevitable part of the human experience, but it does not have to define our actions. When we begin to see it for what it is, a feeling, a response, not a truth, we free ourselves to take bold steps toward the future we desire. In understanding the nature of fear, we unlock the ability to not only face it head-on, but to use it as fuel. By acknowledging its presence without letting it dictate our actions, we gain the upper hand. Fear can be reframed as a powerful teacher, guiding us to the very challenges that will make us stronger, smarter, and more resilient. Instead of shrinking from it, we can begin to welcome it, knowing that with each step we take despite it, we are moving closer to the life we truly desire. Chapter 2. The Courage to Begin. There is a singular moment in every journey, no matter how grand or small, when the decision to act must be made. It is the quiet stillness before the first step, the place where hesitation lingers and doubt waits to seize control. It is a moment filled with a whirlwind of questions, what-ifs, and worries, many of which are unspoken, but loud in their ability to stall progress. That moment, when everything inside us screams to hold back, is the birthplace of courage. It takes a certain audacity to push past the inertia of hesitation and to choose action over inaction. We often associate courage with dramatic, life-altering decisions, the brave hero standing firm in the face of danger, or the bold entrepreneur taking a financial risk. But courage is more often found in the quiet, personal acts of bravery that happen in the day-to-day. It resides in the willingness to say yes to an opportunity, to step into the unknown, to start when starting feels impossible. The moment to take that first step rarely comes with perfect timing. The stars do not align, and the path is seldom clearly marked. The discomfort of starting is a universal experience. It's a natural response to the unknown, to the unfamiliar terrain of progress. It is in these moments when the mind tries to convince us of our unpreparedness or our inadequacy that the courage to begin is most needed. It is in that very discomfort where growth happens. And yet, it is also the very place where so many retreat, clinging to the security of what they know rather than embracing the potential of what they could achieve. In the space between the impulse to act and the act itself, there is a fleeting window where we have the power to decide. The longer we wait, the louder the fears become, feeding the doubts that seek to keep us in a safe and static place. It is easy to believe that waiting for the right moment will somehow make things easier, but the right moment is often an illusion. What is more powerful than perfect timing is the sheer force of our willingness to start, despite not having all the answers. Starting requires a shift in mindset. It's not about waiting until we feel ready or prepared, because those feelings may never come in the way we imagine them. It's about acting in spite of the uncertainty, trusting that the courage to begin will eventually lead to the wisdom we need to keep going. Once we break the seal of hesitation, we see that the process itself is where clarity and insight are found. Momentum builds once the first step is taken, and what seemed like an insurmountable obstacle becomes just another challenge to navigate. Taking the first step doesn't require all the pieces to be in place. It simply demands that we choose to begin, to step into action with confidence, even if that confidence is fragile. The most significant shift comes not from waiting to be ready, but from choosing to act despite feeling unready. It is this action, however small, that begins to unravel the hold of fear and doubt. The more we act, the clearer the path becomes. The courage to begin is less about feeling fearless and more about doing the thing that scares us most, knowing that each step forward, no matter how imperfect, carries us closer to our goals. The courage to begin is not about having a grand vision or an immaculate plan. It's about making a choice to step forward with faith in the process. It's in this commitment to action that success takes root, not in the absence of fear, but in the willingness to move beyond it. Each first step is a powerful declaration that you are capable, that you are willing to move past hesitation, and that you will not allow fear to keep you from what is possible. Chapter 3. Building Unshakable Self-Belief. Self-belief is not a fleeting emotion or a passing thought. It is the unyielding foundation upon which every success is built. It is the quiet, powerful voice that speaks from within when external doubts or uncertainties arise, reminding you that you are capable, deserving, and more than prepared for the challenges ahead. Yet building this inner strength is not a simple task. It is an ongoing process that demands not just courage, but a deep commitment to trust in yourself and your potential. Often, we look to external validation to reinforce our self-worth. We seek approval from others, waiting for confirmation that we are on the right path or that we are good enough. The danger in this is that external validation is fleeting, and it can easily be influenced by the opinions of others or by circumstances beyond our control. Real, unshakable self-belief comes from within. It is rooted in an unwavering recognition of your inherent value, not in the validation you receive from the outside world. This inner belief isn't built in a single moment. It is a muscle that strengthens over time with every small action, every decision made with faith in your own abilities. It is cultivated in the everyday choices where you decide to trust yourself, to choose the path that aligns with your vision, even when the way forward is unclear. Self-belief is nurtured by courage, but it is sustained by consistency. Each time you take action, even when doubt lingers, you are reinforcing the truth that you have the strength to move through fear and uncertainty. It is also important to recognize that self-belief is not the absence of fear or doubt. Rather, it is the ability to act in spite of them. Fear and doubt are natural companions on the journey toward any meaningful achievement, but they are not signs of weakness. They are indicators that you are stepping outside your comfort zone and into growth. Self-belief does not demand perfection. It requires embracing your flaws, acknowledging your imperfections, and trusting that you can learn, adapt, and persevere despite them. It is about knowing that even in failure, you are not defeated. You are merely gathering the lessons necessary for future success. When building unshakable self-belief, it is crucial to silence the inner critic that constantly tries to undermine your worth. This critic thrives on comparisons, focusing on perceived shortcomings and magnifying them out of proportion. The antidote to this voice lies in the conscious decision to celebrate your progress, to affirm your worth in the face of challenges, and to recognize your achievements, no matter how small they may seem. Each step forward, each moment of courage, is evidence of your growing belief in yourself and your abilities. An essential part of strengthening self-belief is surrounding yourself with people who nurture and encourage your growth. The energy of those around you can either fuel your belief or drain it. When you are surrounded by those who see your potential, who challenge you to become your best self, and who lift you up in moments of doubt, your self-belief becomes reinforced by a supportive environment. It becomes easier to believe in yourself when others believe in you. But it's important to remember that this belief must first and foremost come from within. It is also helpful to reflect on your past successes, no matter how big or small, and allow them to serve as a reminder of what you are capable of. Often, we forget the countless obstacles we've already overcome, the skills we've already mastered, and the dreams we've already turned into reality. Reconnecting with your personal history of achievement reminds you that you have faced challenges before and emerged stronger, more capable, and wiser each time. This reflection acts as a proof of your ability to succeed, and it helps silence the voice of doubt that occasionally tries to creep in. Building unshakable self-belief also means taking responsibility for your own growth. Rather than relying on external sources to define your worth, you cultivate a relationship with yourself where you acknowledge your own power. You stop waiting for permission to be great. Instead, you choose to own your potential, trusting that you can meet any challenge that comes your way with determination, resourcefulness, and grace. True self-belief is quiet, yet it is firm. It is not about being overly confident or arrogant, but about possessing an inner certainty that you have the capacity to rise to the occasion no matter what. It is a deep-rooted trust that you can navigate uncertainty, handle setbacks, and continue on your path toward success with resilience and grace. When you believe in yourself in this way, nothing can shake your confidence. The external world may change, and challenges may arise, but your inner belief remains steadfast, guiding you toward the success you are destined to achieve. Chapter 4. Turning Dreams into Reality. Dreams have a unique power. They carry with them the vision of what could be, the potential of who you could become. But dreams alone are not enough. They are merely seeds waiting for the nurturing of action, discipline, and clear intention. The gap between a dream and its realization is the space where commitment and strategy thrive. Without clear intentions, dreams can remain distant, vague ideas that never find their way into the real world. It's the act of turning those abstract desires into tangible steps that makes all the difference. The first step in turning a dream into reality is to define it with clarity. A dream that is not clear is a fleeting notion that fades as quickly as it arises. When you take the time to articulate what your dream truly looks like, how it feels, and what achieving it would mean for you, you begin to shape it into something actionable. Instead of a vague longing, your dream becomes a destination with specific markers along the way. What does success look like to you? What are the milestones you need to hit to move toward that success? These are not idle questions. They are essential inquiries that allow you to take the first step toward manifestation. Once you've clarified your vision, it's time to break it down. The best way to move forward is to take the grand vision of your dream and break it into smaller, actionable pieces. These steps should be both measurable and realistic. A dream becomes more approachable when you focus on the immediate actions that will move you closer to your goal. When you take a large task and divide it into manageable parts, it no longer feels overwhelming. Each step becomes an opportunity to make progress, each action a confirmation that you are moving in the right direction. It's in this process of constant forward movement that dreams start to shift from ideas into concrete realities. At this point, the importance of consistency cannot be overstated. Progress toward your dream is not determined by a single grand gesture, but by the consistent and persistent steps you take each day. When you commit to acting on your intentions, regardless of how small the action may seem, you start to create momentum. This momentum compounds over time, and as you gather small wins, you build the confidence and resilience to tackle larger challenges. The key is to remain steady, even when results are not immediate. True transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's the accumulation of small, disciplined actions that result in extraordinary outcomes. Part of turning a dream into reality also involves removing obstacles from your path, obstacles that may be internal, like fear or self-doubt, or external, like time constraints or lack of resources. It's easy to feel discouraged when the path isn't clear, but resilience lies in moving forward despite the uncertainty. Part of this is having faith in the process and the ability to adapt to challenges. When you face challenges with adaptability, you turn potential roadblocks into lessons. Success is often found not in the absence of challenges, but in the ability to confront them with a determined mindset, knowing that each step forward brings you closer to your dream. Lastly, turning a dream into reality requires aligning your actions with your core values. If your actions are misaligned with your inner beliefs, the dream will lack substance and depth. When you are deeply connected to your values, you can maintain a sense of purpose and motivation even during difficult times. The clarity that comes from knowing what matters most to you allows you to stay true to your path, and as you move toward your dream, it will no longer just be about achieving an external goal. It will be about honoring your true self and your deeper purpose. Chapter 5. Tackling Obstacles Head-On. Challenges are an inevitable part of any meaningful journey. Yet far too often, we view obstacles as signs that we are on the wrong path, as indicators that perhaps we should turn back or abandon our goals. This perspective only serves to amplify fear and uncertainty, making obstacles seem insurmountable. The truth, however, is that obstacles are not barriers. They are simply opportunities waiting to be met with resilience and determination. Every challenge offers an invitation to grow, evolve, and strengthen the very qualities that will carry you toward success. The first step in facing obstacles head-on is to shift your mindset. Rather than viewing difficulties as reasons to retreat, recognize them as chances to learn, improve, and sharpen your resolve. Challenges should not be feared, but embraced, for they reveal the areas where growth is possible. This shift in perspective allows you to approach obstacles with a sense of curiosity rather than dread, turning each one into a stepping stone instead of a roadblock. When challenges arise, it's important to maintain clarity about your end goal. The further you journey toward your dream, the more obstacles you will encounter. These challenges can feel discouraging, especially when they come in the form of unexpected setbacks or failures. However, when you remain focused on your ultimate vision, it becomes easier to see the value of overcoming each hurdle. Every obstacle is merely a part of the process, a necessary experience to sharpen your skills, build your character, and move closer to your vision. The more you persist, the more you realize that each challenge brings you a step closer to mastering your craft and achieving your goals. The next critical element in tackling obstacles is resilience. It's not about avoiding failure, but about developing the strength to get back up when you face it. Resilience is built in the moments when things aren't going as planned. It's in those moments of difficulty that you discover your true capacity for persistence. Resilience is not simply the ability to endure, but the ability to grow through adversity. When faced with setbacks, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? This mindset fosters growth and allows you to keep moving forward, regardless of how difficult the journey becomes. Another important factor in tackling obstacles is preparation. While it's impossible to predict every challenge, being prepared mentally and emotionally can make all the difference. It's not just about having a plan, but also developing the flexibility to adapt to unforeseen challenges. A well-prepared mind is not thrown off course when obstacles arise. Instead, it sees them as puzzles to be solved. When you expect challenges and prepare for them, you approach them with a proactive mindset rather than a reactive one. As you face each obstacle, remember that the key is not to let fear or doubt dictate your actions. Fear of failure is one of the most common reasons people retreat from challenges, but overcoming obstacles requires a mindset that embraces failure as a necessary part of growth. Each failure teaches you something new about yourself, your strengths, and your weaknesses. It's not the failure that matters, but what you do with it. By learning from each setback, you transform it into a lesson that moves you closer to your goals. Ultimately, the path to success is never smooth, and obstacles will always be a part of the journey. The difference between those who succeed and those who give up is the willingness to face challenges head-on, to remain steadfast and resilient in the face of adversity. By embracing obstacles, preparing for them, and tackling them with courage and determination, you transform challenges from burdens into powerful catalysts for growth. With each obstacle you overcome, you strengthen the foundation for your success, building a mindset that is unshakable in its pursuit of your dreams. Chapter 6. The Power of Consistency. There is an unmistakable power in the act of showing up every single day, regardless of the circumstances. It isn't the grand gestures or the big leaps that ultimately define success. Rather, it's the consistency with which you take small actions day after day that compounds over time and creates lasting momentum. Consistency is not about perfection. It's about persistence. It is in the quiet, persistent effort that breakthroughs occur, and it is through consistency that the impossible becomes possible. The journey to success can often feel daunting, especially when progress is slow or the road ahead appears unclear. It's easy to become disheartened when immediate results are not visible. However, the secret lies in understanding that true progress is not always linear. Success is not a straight line, but rather a series of incremental steps that, when stacked together, create an undeniable force. The power of consistency lies in its ability to gradually shift your trajectory, one small, seemingly insignificant action at a time. When faced with challenges, it is tempting to want to take shortcuts, to rush through tasks in hopes of quicker rewards, but this approach often leads to burnout and frustration. The beauty of consistency is that it doesn't require instant gratification. It's about creating a rhythm, an unshakable routine that doesn't hinge on emotional highs or lows. It's about committing to the process, no matter how small the action, and trusting that every effort will add up over time. Consistency allows you to build a system that works for you, a framework that helps you maintain progress even when motivation wanes. It's easy to act when you're inspired, but inspiration doesn't last forever. In those moments when the initial excitement fades, consistency becomes your anchor. It's the daily practices, the rituals, and the habits that sustain you when the novelty wears off. The key to harnessing this power is creating habits that serve your goals and make taking action a non-negotiable part of your routine. Through consistency, you begin to build momentum. Momentum is a force that propels you forward, even in the face of obstacles. When you are consistent in your efforts, you build a natural rhythm that keeps you going even when you encounter setbacks. Each small effort contributes to a growing sense of accomplishment, which in turn fuels the desire to keep going. This cycle of action and reward builds momentum that carries you past moments of doubt and discouragement. As the momentum grows, so does your confidence and belief in the process. One of the most powerful aspects of consistency is its ability to create an identity shift. As you repeatedly show up and put in the work, you begin to see yourself as someone who is committed to success. Consistency forms the bedrock of your self-belief. It allows you to develop a deep trust in your ability to keep moving forward, regardless of external circumstances. Over time, your identity becomes intertwined with your actions, and this shift makes it increasingly difficult to stop. You no longer just want success, you embody it. Another crucial factor in the power of consistency is that it allows you to develop expertise. The consistent application of effort in any area leads to mastery. No one becomes an expert without putting in the hours, without showing up and doing the work day after day. This principle applies to every field, from business and sports to the arts and personal development. Mastery isn't about a sudden breakthrough. It's the result of countless small actions that compound to create expertise. Moreover, consistency helps you build resilience. When you remain consistent, you become adept at dealing with the challenges and setbacks that inevitably arise. You begin to see challenges not as obstacles but as opportunities to practice persistence. Over time, this resilience becomes a core part of who you are. It enables you to maintain forward momentum, no matter how tough things get. The more you show up, the more you develop the emotional and mental strength needed to persevere when faced with difficulty. But consistency doesn't mean doing the same thing mindlessly. It's important to stay engaged, to refine your approach as needed. While repetition is key, growth comes from learning, adapting, and improving as you go. This doesn't mean changing your goal every time things get difficult, but it does mean evaluating your process and ensuring that your consistent efforts are always aligned with your ultimate vision. The key to consistent success lies in being adaptable without losing sight of your bigger goals. In a world that celebrates instant success and rapid results, consistency may seem like an outdated principle. However, in reality, it is the most reliable method for long-term success. It's not glamorous, and it's not always exciting, but the steady, reliable progress that consistency brings is the foundation of any meaningful achievement. When you commit to the process and put in the work day after day, you unlock the power of momentum, and that momentum carries you toward your greatest aspirations. Chapter 7. The Role of Risk in Success. Success is never a straight path. Along every journey toward accomplishment, there are moments when you will face uncertainty, when the next step isn't clear and the stakes feel higher than ever. It's in these moments that risk enters the picture, not as a gamble, but as a calculated force that can propel you to your greatest potential. The concept of risk is often misunderstood, primarily because it's too frequently equated with recklessness or chance. In truth, risk is an integral part of growth, one that requires strategy, careful analysis, and a willingness to step outside of what's comfortable. It is the catalyst that transforms ambition into reality, the necessary spark that ignites progress. To achieve anything of significance, you must learn not only to take risks, but to embrace them with confidence and clarity. Risk isn't about being reckless or throwing caution to the wind. It's about understanding the rewards that come with stepping out of your comfort zone and accepting the possibility of failure, knowing that it is not a sign of defeat, but a lesson on the way to greater success. Risk involves facing the unknown with the belief that the potential for growth far outweighs the danger of failure. Every successful person has had to face moments of risk. These individuals didn't achieve greatness by avoiding difficult decisions or waiting for certainty to appear. Instead, they leaned into the discomfort of risk and made bold moves with the awareness that the path to success is often paved with uncertainty. It's the willingness to take these risks that sets them apart, not because they are fearless, but because they understand that risk is a vital ingredient for expansion. At its core, risk is an opportunity. When you take a step forward into the unknown, you open up a world of possibilities that would remain closed if you stayed within the confines of familiarity. Every time you take a risk, you open a door to new experiences, new knowledge, and new connections. These are the things that lead to breakthroughs, both personally and professionally. Without risk, you are bound to the safety of the status quo, which, while comforting, never offers the potential for real transformation. Understanding the nature of risk means being able to differentiate between taking a calculated risk and acting impulsively. The key to successful risk-taking lies in preparing for the challenges ahead, assessing potential outcomes, and recognizing that the benefits may not always come immediately. But over time, the payoff for those who are willing to make those bold choices compounds, often in ways that are unexpected. This doesn't mean that every risk will lead to immediate success or that every attempt will result in a positive outcome. The path of risk-taking includes failures, setbacks, and detours. However, these are not signs of failure. They are integral steps on the journey to greater wisdom and insight. Every setback is a lesson, each failure an opportunity to refine your strategy. The more you embrace risk, the better you become at managing it, learning from it, and using it as a stepping stone toward your ultimate goals. When you take risks, you are also stepping into your full potential. Often, the greatest obstacle to success is not external, but internal, the fear of stepping outside of what's comfortable and familiar. The comfort zone is a quiet place where growth stagnates. While it feels safe, it keeps you from reaching the heights that you are capable of. To break through the barriers of your limitations, you must be willing to take risks, to confront uncertainty, and to embrace the discomfort that accompanies progress. Risk-taking is not just about going after large, life-altering decisions. It also includes the small, everyday actions that push you out of your comfort zone. Speaking up in a meeting, reaching out to a new connection, investing in personal development. Each of these are risks that add up over time to create a significant shift in your life and career. Every time you act with courage, you develop the mental and emotional muscle needed to handle larger, more impactful risks in the future. The ability to embrace and manage risk is often the dividing line between those who simply dream and those who achieve. Successful individuals are not those who avoid the unknown, but those who choose to engage with it thoughtfully. By understanding the role that risk plays, you stop seeing it as an obstacle and instead view it as an essential part of the process. In the end, It's not the risks you avoided that will matter, but the ones you took with conviction. Because when you take risks, you position yourself for growth, transformation, and success. It's in the leap of faith that you find the truest form of progress, the kind that makes your achievements meaningful and your journey extraordinary. Chapter 8. Sharpening your decision-making skills. The ability to make decisions swiftly and decisively is one of the defining qualities of successful individuals. It is easy to underestimate the power of decision-making. In truth, it shapes the trajectory of your life. Every moment, every choice, and every step forward is dictated by the decisions you make. The faster and more confidently you can make them, the more control you have over your life and your future. There is a misconception that decision-making is about having all the answers before acting. In reality, the most successful people are those who can move forward with incomplete information, trusting their instincts, knowledge, and abilities. These individuals understand that no decision is ever made in a vacuum, and that a perfect answer rarely exists. The true strength lies not in finding certainty, but in being able to take action despite the uncertainty. What holds most people back is the fear of making the wrong decision. The anxiety of failing or choosing poorly can paralyze even the most capable individuals, leaving them stuck in a state of indecision. However, indecision itself is the real enemy. The cost of inaction is far greater than the cost of making a mistake. In fact, mistakes are often the stepping stones to greater wisdom. The key is to make a decision, take a step, and trust that you can adjust as you go. A decision doesn't have to be perfect to be effective. It simply needs to be made with clarity and conviction. Effective decision-making is rooted in the clarity of purpose. Those who achieve success know their goals and values deeply, which makes their decisions simpler. When your goals are clear, the decisions that align with them become more evident. Each choice can then be evaluated through the lens of whether it brings you closer to or further away from your intended outcome. This clarity allows for quick decision-making because it reduces the overwhelming complexity that often accompanies a choice. When you know where you want to go, you can confidently choose the path forward. Another aspect of decision-making is the understanding that not all decisions are permanent. Life is filled with moments of reassessment. What seems like the right decision today might need adjustment tomorrow. People who thrive in decision-making know how to pivot when necessary. This flexibility doesn't mean they are indecisive. Rather, it shows a commitment to growth and adaptation. The key is to avoid overthinking and recognize that decisions can be revised, adjusted, or improved as more information or insights come to light. Making decisions quickly and with confidence also involves taking responsibility for them. Ownership of your choices, whether good or bad, is a fundamental part of personal growth. When you take responsibility, you empower yourself to learn and grow. You stop blaming external circumstances or others for your missteps, and instead see every decision as an opportunity to evolve. One way to build the muscle of quick decision-making is to practice it in small, low-stakes situations. These small decisions serve as training grounds for larger, more consequential ones. Whether you're deciding what to have for lunch, what to wear, or which book to read next, practice making decisions swiftly. Over time, this habit of taking action will spill over into your personal and professional life, helping you become a more decisive person in high-stakes situations as well. Additionally, developing a support system of trusted people can help speed up decision-making. This does not mean relying on others to make decisions for you, but rather surrounding yourself with people who can offer guidance, challenge your assumptions, and help you gain perspective. When you have a solid support network, you can trust that you are not alone in your decision-making process, which makes it easier to take action quickly. These individuals can provide clarity when you feel overwhelmed and give you the reassurance needed to move forward. It is also vital to distinguish between decisions that require speed and those that require patience. Not every situation demands an immediate response. Some decisions require deep thought, careful analysis, and reflection. Understanding when to pause and reflect is just as important as knowing when to act. It's about striking the right balance between taking decisive action and knowing when a slower, more measured approach is necessary. One of the most powerful tools for sharpening decision-making skills is learning to trust your intuition. Your mind constantly processes information, even when you're not aware of it. This intuitive sense is often an amalgamation of past experiences, insights, and patterns that your subconscious has recognized. Successful decision-makers learn to tap into their intuition, particularly when the facts are murky or when a choice isn't immediately clear. Trusting your gut is not about disregarding logic, but about harmonizing it with the insights that come from experience. When you strengthen your decision-making skills, you create momentum in your life. Every choice you make, no matter how small, moves you closer to your goals. Each decision becomes a building block of your success. By learning to make bold decisions quickly, you demonstrate trust in yourself and your capabilities. You move past the fear of making mistakes and embrace the journey of growth that each decision fosters. This confidence in your ability to make decisions is what ultimately leads to lasting success and fulfillment. The ability to make quick, bold decisions is not a trait that some people are born with. It is a skill that can be developed. The more you practice and embrace the power of decisive action, the sharper your ability to make choices will become. When you trust yourself to make decisions and keep moving forward, you'll find that your life will unfold with greater ease, direction, and success. Chapter 9. Harnessing the Power of Persistence. The difference between success and failure often lies in one simple factor: the willingness to keep going when others would quit. While talent, intelligence, and resources play significant roles in achievements, it is persistence, the unwavering commitment to push forward despite challenges, that often separates those who reach their goals from those who fall short. Persistence isn't just a trait. It is a mindset that defines how you react when faced with adversity. It is about embracing the journey and continuing to press forward even when results are not immediately visible. Every successful individual has faced setbacks. In fact, failure is an inevitable part of the process. The truly transformative part, however, is not in the avoidance of failure, but in how you respond to it. When faced with failure, the most successful individuals refuse to give up. They view setbacks not as roadblocks, but as opportunities for growth, refinement, and course correction. The path to success is often nonlinear, filled with detours, obstacles, and moments of doubt. However, persistence ensures that every setback becomes merely another step in the process of eventually reaching your destination. The power of persistence lies in its ability to fuel resilience. Resilience isn't about bouncing back from failure. It's about the ability to adapt, learn, and thrive in the face of challenges. With each failure, you learn more about yourself, about what doesn't work, and about how to approach your goals with a different perspective. Instead of being defeated by failure, those who persist see it as an essential component of success. They understand that each misstep is simply an opportunity to adjust and improve their approach. To harness the power of persistence, one must embrace the concept of delayed gratification. Often, persistence means staying the course without seeing immediate results. It requires trusting in the process, even when success seems far off. In a world where instant gratification is often the norm, the ability to delay rewards and focus on long-term goals is a rare and valuable skill. The persistent person understands that every step, no matter how small, brings them closer to their ultimate objective. And with each small victory, the momentum builds, leading to greater breakthroughs and success in the long run. Persistence also requires a deep sense of purpose. When the journey becomes difficult, when the weight of setbacks feels too heavy, the strongest motivator is a clear and compelling vision. A powerful sense of purpose fuels your determination to keep going. When you are aligned with your purpose, your persistence is no longer driven by obligation or force. It becomes a natural, almost effortless part of your process. You are not chasing fleeting goals, but are moving towards something that resonates deeply within you. This intrinsic motivation is what propels you forward when external rewards are out of sight. Another key element of persistence is the willingness to make adjustments and reframe the way you view obstacles. Persistence doesn't mean blindly sticking to the same course when the road becomes difficult. It means being flexible enough to reassess your approach, adapt, and find new ways to continue the journey. Stubbornness can often be mistaken for persistence, but true persistence involves learning from mistakes and being open to change. When you encounter setbacks, it's crucial to examine them with a mindset of curiosity rather than frustration. By analyzing the situation and adapting your strategy, you can find ways to overcome the challenge and move forward with greater clarity. Persistence also means learning to deal with the emotional roller coaster that accompanies the pursuit of any worthwhile goal. It's not just about continuing the work when things go well, but also maintaining that energy when the process feels overwhelming or discouraging. The emotional toll of pursuing success can sometimes be greater than the physical effort. At times, the struggle may feel insurmountable, and the temptation to quit may seem overwhelming. During these moments, the power of persistence shines brightest. It's about finding the inner strength to continue, even when motivation wanes. The most persistent individuals have a remarkable ability to push through feelings of doubt, fatigue, and frustration. They keep their focus on the end goal and trust that the challenges they are facing are part of the process. Part of being persistent is also learning how to manage your energy. It's easy to burn out when you push yourself too hard without rest. Persistence doesn't mean relentless working without pause. It means maintaining steady forward momentum. It's about pacing yourself, finding the right balance between effort and recovery. Those who persist understand the importance of replenishing their energy, mentally, physically, and emotionally, so that they can continue at their best when the time comes to push forward again. There's also a profound sense of confidence that comes from persistence. Each time you choose to press on despite difficulties, you prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you realized. Over time, persistence becomes less about just getting through tough times and more about building self-trust. As you encounter and overcome obstacles, you reinforce the belief that no challenge is insurmountable. This self-belief becomes an indestructible foundation for future success. With persistence, you start to trust that you can handle whatever comes your way, not because it's easy, but because you've already demonstrated time and time again that you have the resilience to prevail. Persistence is a multiplier. The more you practice it, the stronger it becomes. Like a muscle, the more you use it, the more natural it feels. As you cultivate persistence, you develop a mindset that doesn't shrink from difficulties, but welcomes them as an essential part of the journey. Your commitment to persist, no matter the obstacles, becomes a defining factor in the life you build. When you understand that success is not defined by avoiding failure, but by your unwavering ability to persist in the face of adversity, you unlock a powerful force that can propel you to heights beyond your imagination. Success is not a matter of luck or timing. It is a matter of persistence. The ones who succeed are not the ones who never face setbacks. They are the ones who, despite setbacks, keep moving forward. The strength to persist is the foundation upon which all other forms of success are built. When you persist, you not only reach your goals, but also discover a well of inner strength and power that you can rely on for the rest of your life. Chapter 10. Staying focused on the bigger picture. In a world full of noise, it's easy to become distracted by the smaller, more immediate concerns of daily life. From endless to-do lists to the constant pull of external pressures, staying focused on the bigger picture becomes one of the most valuable skills you can develop. To truly create meaningful and lasting success, you must have a deep understanding of where you want to go and remain unwavering in your commitment to that vision, regardless of what may happen along the way. Clarity of purpose is the cornerstone of maintaining focus on the bigger picture. Without it, distractions will constantly draw you off course. It's not enough to simply know what you want in the long run. You must fully immerse yourself in that vision and connect to it emotionally. When your goals are aligned with your deepest values, they serve as a constant source of motivation and direction. This kind of clarity gives you the power to make decisions that move you closer to your end goal without being swayed by short-term temptations or minor setbacks. Many people lose sight of the bigger picture because they become fixated on immediate results. Success doesn't always happen overnight, and the road to reaching your goals is often marked by slow progress. In such moments, it can feel as though you're not making any headway, and the urge to chase after quicker, more tangible results can be overwhelming. But those who remain focused on the long-term vision understand that every small effort contributes to the larger objective. Progress may be incremental, but with time, it will accumulate into something substantial. This awareness allows you to stay on track even when the results don't come as quickly as expected. To maintain this focus, it's crucial to develop the discipline of blocking out distractions. In a world filled with constant notifications, social media updates, and unsolicited advice, protecting your time and attention becomes essential. It's about learning to say no to the things that don't align with your bigger vision, no matter how appealing they might seem in the moment. Setting boundaries for yourself and others allows you to stay laser-focused on what matters most, while ignoring the noise that serves only to derail you. Another aspect of staying focused on the bigger picture is maintaining an unwavering belief in the process, even when the journey gets tough. There will be days when the obstacles feel insurmountable, and the desire to throw in the towel becomes strong. During these moments, remembering the larger vision can serve as a powerful anchor. It is in these difficult times that your commitment to your purpose must override your temporary doubts. By holding your vision close and regularly reminding yourself of the larger reason behind your efforts, you create a sense of resilience that helps you push through challenges with confidence. A major challenge people face when trying to focus on the long-term goal is the tendency to compare their journey with that of others. With the rise of social media, it's easy to get caught up in the successes of others, leading to self-doubt and distraction. But this is where true focus lies, in the ability to disregard the external noise and trust your unique path. The world is filled with people who have found their own routes to success, and their path is not yours to follow. Your success is not defined by their achievements, but by your unwavering dedication to your own long-term vision. By focusing on your own progress and journey, you create an environment in which your potential is limitless. To stay focused, it's also important to set checkpoints and milestones along the way that remind you of your progress. These benchmarks serve as a way to evaluate how far you've come and reaffirm your commitment to the larger goal. Celebrating these small wins, without losing sight of the larger objective, provides both motivation and clarity. They also provide an opportunity to recalibrate, if necessary, ensuring that you're still heading in the right direction toward your ultimate goal. Staying focused on the bigger picture also requires understanding the power of patience. Success is rarely a sprint. It's a marathon. Every effort, no matter how small, plays a crucial role in achieving the larger goal. The ability to withstand the ups and downs of the journey and to maintain your focus during those moments of frustration is what differentiates those who succeed from those who falter. Success takes time, and the key is to have the patience to allow things to unfold in their own time. When you are able to consistently align your actions with your long-term vision, you build a foundation that allows you to move forward with purpose and determination. Rather than being swept away by the distractions and obstacles that come your way, you navigate through life with intention and clarity, always keeping your eyes on the bigger picture. Chapter 11. Turning failures into learning experiences. Failure is often viewed as the ultimate setback, a sign that you've failed or that you're not capable of succeeding. But the most successful individuals don't view failure as the end of the road. They see it as a lesson, a necessary part of the process that brings them closer to success. What defines a successful person is not their ability to avoid failure, but their capacity to use it as a stepping stone toward greater achievement. Failure is a natural component of any worthwhile endeavor. It's not a sign of weakness, nor is it a reflection of your ability. Instead, it is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to refine your approach. Those who understand this principle do not fear failure, but embrace it as an essential part of their development. Every failure offers a unique insight that cannot be gained from success alone. It teaches you what doesn't work, where your weaknesses lie, and how you can adjust your strategy for better results in the future. Rather than wallowing in self-doubt or disappointment after a failure, successful individuals ask themselves one important question: what can I learn from this? This mindset shift allows you to extract the valuable lessons embedded in every failure, turning what could be seen as a defeat into an opportunity for improvement. By reframing failure in this way, you position yourself to learn quickly, adapt, and move forward with even greater strength and clarity. In many cases, failure offers the chance to pivot, to adjust your strategy, refine your approach, or even change the course of your entire journey. The key is not to see failure as an unchangeable mark of defeat, but as a prompt to reassess and reorient. What may seem like a roadblock today can, with the right perspective, become an unexpected opportunity. Each failure is an invitation to innovate, to approach the problem from a different angle, and to grow in ways you may not have imagined at the outset. Moreover, every failure makes you more resilient. It teaches you how to cope with setbacks and challenges, helping you to build a mental and emotional strength that success alone cannot provide. It builds your capacity to endure hardship, to take risks, and to persevere in the face of adversity. The more failures you experience, the more resilient you become, and the more equipped you are to handle the obstacles that will inevitably arise in the future. Failure also teaches you about yourself, about your strengths, your weaknesses, and your capacity for growth. It shows you how committed you are to your goals, and it challenges you to dig deeper when the going gets tough. The ability to learn from failure is one of the most powerful tools you can have in your arsenal. It helps you grow faster, adapt more quickly, and ultimately achieve greater success. One of the greatest obstacles to embracing failure as a learning experience is the fear of judgment. Many people fear that others will view their failures as weaknesses or inadequacies. But true growth comes when you can remove this fear and instead focus on your personal development. When you stop worrying about how others perceive your failures, you open yourself up to the possibilities for growth that these experiences offer. Failure is not about proving anything to others. It's about proving to yourself that you have the ability to learn, to adapt, and to keep going. In every failure lies the potential for success. It's not the failure that defines you, but how you respond to it. If you view each failure as an opportunity for growth and learning, you will develop a mindset that not only accepts failure, but actively seeks it out as a way to accelerate your progress. By embracing the lessons found in every setback, you set yourself on a path of continuous improvement, ultimately moving closer to the success you envision. Chapter 12. Celebrating bold wins. Success is not just about the grand, monumental achievements that mark the end of a journey. It's also about the smaller victories, the little steps forward that keep you moving toward your goals. It's easy to overlook the significance of these moments when you're caught up in the pursuit of something bigger. However, the true power lies in celebrating each victory, regardless of its size, because each win is a testament to your progress, your resilience, and your commitment. Recognizing and celebrating even the smallest achievements has a profound impact on your mindset and your drive. Often, people wait for the big win before they allow themselves to feel proud, but in doing so, they miss out on the encouragement and motivation that these smaller milestones provide. Each victory, no matter how small, is a building block that moves you closer to your ultimate goal. These moments of success reinforce the belief that you are capable, that your efforts are paying off, and that you are on the right path. Celebrating wins helps to foster a positive mindset and keeps your energy high. It's easy to become bogged down by setbacks, challenges, and periods of stagnation. But when you take the time to pause and appreciate the progress you've made, you shift your focus from what you haven't accomplished yet to what you've already achieved. This shift in perspective is crucial because it reminds you that success is a continuous journey, not a final destination. By recognizing and embracing your achievements, you not only boost your confidence, but also create a momentum that propels you forward. The act of celebration also reinforces your commitment to the process. When you celebrate your achievements, you acknowledge the effort, time, and dedication that went into reaching that point. This practice builds an appreciation for the journey itself. It reminds you that success isn't just the culmination of your efforts, but the day-to-day actions that move you in the right direction. When you celebrate a win, you honor the discipline, focus, and perseverance that got you there, making it easier to commit to the next step, the next challenge, and the next win. Celebrating small victories also has the power to inspire those around you. When you share your wins, whether it's completing a project, reaching a milestone, or even overcoming a fear, you invite others to witness your growth and be inspired by your progress. It's important to recognize that your success doesn't exist in a vacuum. The energy you put into celebrating your victories can create a ripple effect, encouraging others to do the same in their own journeys. This collective spirit of celebration can foster a culture of growth, positivity, and support among peers, colleagues, or loved ones. There's also a profound sense of gratitude that comes with celebrating your achievements. Gratitude for the journey, for the lessons learned, and for the strength you've built along the way. It reminds you that success is not just about the destination, but about the experiences that shape you into the person capable of achieving it. Each step forward is an opportunity to reflect on how far you've come and what you've learned. Sometimes, in the rush to achieve more, we overlook how far we've already come. We can become so focused on what's next that we forget to appreciate where we are right now. Taking the time to celebrate not only elevates your mood and strengthens your resolve, but it also reinforces the habit of reflecting on your progress. This reflection cultivates an attitude of appreciation, which creates a deeper connection to the success you are building and strengthens your sense of purpose. While the larger goals are important, it's the small victories that keep the journey enjoyable. The grind toward success can be exhausting, and without acknowledging the incremental wins, the journey can feel tedious or even overwhelming. But when you take the time to celebrate, you refresh your spirit, renew your commitment, and prepare yourself for the next chapter. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment of victory. It's about recognizing that every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory worth celebrating. Moreover, celebrating your wins reinforces the importance of consistency. Success isn't a single moment of triumph. It's a series of consistent actions that accumulate over time. By celebrating each win, you acknowledge the importance of the consistent effort that underpins success. Whether it's an act of courage, a strategic decision, or the completion of a difficult task, each small victory builds the foundation for the next one. These celebrations remind you that success is the result of a series of deliberate actions, not just one big breakthrough. In this way, celebration becomes a vital tool in reinforcing the ongoing commitment to your dreams and aspirations. Rather than simply celebrating after achieving your goal, celebrate the process, the dedication, and the progress you've made along the way. This mentality shifts your focus from an end result to the value found in the effort itself, making every part of the journey worthwhile. When you celebrate boldly, you affirm your belief in your potential and in the power of persistence. Each celebration, big or small, is a testament to your ability to move forward despite the obstacles, the doubts, and the fears. It's a reminder that progress is happening, that you are growing, and that each step you take brings you closer to your ultimate vision of success. And in that celebration, you find the motivation, the courage, and the energy to keep pushing forward, knowing that each victory you embrace propels you further along your path. Chapter 13. Living a Fearless Life Beyond Success. Success, while powerful and deeply rewarding, is only one aspect of a life well lived. It's easy to think that once we reach a certain goal, the journey is complete. But true fulfillment comes from applying the principles of fearlessness in every aspect of life, beyond work, beyond achievements, beyond the tangible. To live fearlessly is to embrace each moment with clarity and conviction, to break free from limitations, and to engage fully in all areas of existence, not just those where we seek external validation. When we understand fearlessness as a mindset rather than a tool for professional success, we begin to see that the same courage, resilience, and trust we apply to our careers must extend to our personal lives, relationships, and internal growth. Fearlessness is not just a strategy for overcoming obstacles at work. It's the framework for living authentically and boldly in every situation. Applying a fearless mindset to your personal relationships, for example, invites you to be more open, to speak your truth without fear of rejection or misunderstanding. It allows you to embrace vulnerability, knowing that your worth is not defined by others' opinions, but by your own sense of self. In this light, the idea of fearlessness becomes the courage to show up as your true self, unencumbered by the weight of judgment or insecurity. Relationships thrive when you bring your authentic self to them, and fearlessness frees you from the chains of needing to be someone you're not. It gives you the power to express love without fear of loss, to confront conflicts without retreating, and to connect more deeply with others because you are no longer afraid to be seen for who you truly are. In the realm of health and well-being, fearlessness transforms the way you approach your body and mind. It challenges you to push past the mental barriers that hold you back from taking care of yourself. Many of us are conditioned to believe that we're not worthy of a healthy, vibrant life, or that we must sacrifice our well-being for the sake of others or for success. Fearlessness in this context means refusing to buy into these limiting beliefs. It means taking ownership of your health, whether it's through exercise, eating nourishing food, or prioritizing mental well-being, and doing so without guilt or hesitation. Fearlessness is the internal drive that reminds you that caring for yourself is not a luxury, but a necessity for living fully. In your spiritual or inner journey, fearlessness calls on you to confront the unknown within. It's the courage to question old beliefs, to explore new possibilities, and to forge a path that aligns with your deeper truths. Spiritual growth often requires facing the discomfort of uncertainty. Yet it is in embracing this discomfort that we begin to uncover our true potential. Fearlessness allows you to step into the unknown with trust, knowing that each step is part of a broader, more meaningful journey. Whether it's practicing meditation, exploring a new philosophy, or seeking personal transformation, fearlessness gives you the confidence to dive into the mysteries of life without fear of what you might discover. The application of fearlessness is not confined to the easy or comfortable situations. It's about embracing the challenges as opportunities for growth. Life is inherently unpredictable. There will be moments that test your patience, challenge your beliefs, and force you out of your comfort zone. However, by applying the fearless mindset, you learn to face each of these moments with calm and resolve. Fearless living means taking on challenges not with a mindset of avoidance, but with a mindset of possibility. It's about asking yourself, what can I learn from this, instead of, how can I escape this? It's the willingness to engage fully with life, regardless of the obstacles. Even in moments of uncertainty or hardship, fearlessness becomes a grounding force. It reminds you that you are not defined by your circumstances. You are defined by your ability to rise above them. The key lies in your response. Fearlessness does not mean being invincible or immune to pain. Rather, it means not allowing fear of failure, rejection, or discomfort to dictate the course of your life. It allows you to embrace setbacks as part of the process, knowing that each challenge is temporary and growth is on the other side of perseverance. Living fearlessly is also about embracing the fullness of your potential. When you stop living in fear of making mistakes, you open yourself to the creativity and possibility that is inherent in every human being. Fearlessness unlocks your capacity for growth because it removes the mental blocks that have been created by self-doubt or past failures. It allows you to stretch your abilities beyond what you thought possible. Rather than holding back because of fear of judgment or fear of the unknown, you step into your greatness with a sense of excitement, knowing that the next step will bring you closer to the fullest expression of who you can be. Finally, fearlessness is about living with purpose. It is the courage to follow your passion, take risks that align with your true desires, and make decisions that are in alignment with your deeper values. Living fearlessly means choosing to live with intention, no matter what the external world might think or expect. It's about putting yourself in the driver's seat of your own life, making choices that honor your inner calling, and create the life that reflects your authentic self. Fearlessness allows you to carve your own path, unconcerned by the judgments of others or the conventional routes that society might suggest. When the fearless mindset expands beyond success, it transforms the entire fabric of your life. It empowers you to make bold choices in all areas, whether it's in your career, your relationships, your health, or your personal growth. It enables you to see the world not as a place filled with limitations, but as a vast landscape of opportunities waiting to be explored. Fearlessness is the foundation upon which a life of true freedom, purpose, and fulfillment is built. Conclusion. The journey to living fearlessly is not a destination but an ongoing process, one that is shaped by the courage to take action, the resilience to overcome challenges, and the unwavering belief in your ability to create the life you desire. Each step, whether it is the first leap into the unknown or the quiet persistence through adversity, contributes to the foundation of a fearless life. As you continue to take bold steps toward success, remember that fear is not an enemy to be conquered, but a force to be understood and navigated. It is through fear that you unlock your greatest potential and discover the vastness of your own strength. Fearless action isn't about the absence of fear, but about moving forward despite it, embracing every challenge, and using each experience as a stepping stone to growth. The world around you will always offer distractions, setbacks, and doubts, but by staying grounded in your vision and maintaining your focus on the bigger picture, you can keep moving toward your goals. With a fearless mindset, you'll no longer be held back by past failures or future uncertainties. Instead, you'll recognize that every victory, every failure, and every lesson along the way is part of the greater masterpiece of your life. To live fearlessly is to live fully. It is to pursue your dreams with abandon, to show up authentically in every moment, and to embrace all that life has to offer, both the triumphs and the challenges. It's about taking ownership of your path and knowing that no matter what life throws your way, you have the courage, the strength, and the resolve to face it head on. The power to live fearlessly is within you. It always has been. All it takes is the decision to step into your own greatness, to trust your instincts, and to keep moving forward, one bold step at a time. As you continue on your journey, may you remember that you are the architect of your own success, and the key to unlocking your fullest potential lies in the fearless choices you make each and every day.